Alright, Sq-1 example solves for Nathan pretty much. I average like 16, 17 right now, and I know a couple cool tricks, mostly from not Kevin though. So scramble is going to be right here. Okay, cube shape is this case. It's a 4 mover. You can do scallop kite, which is not that bad for this case, but what most people do is, or most fast people do, you're gonna make it into a kite barrel, and then from there it's just a 3 mover. So to do that, you're gonna do this. Line it up like this. Kite and barrel. And from here, this easy 3 mover, you just line up the corners like this, and it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, corner orientation, 3 on top, 1 on bottom. My top color is yellow, by the way. Okay, so this EO case, a lot of fast people, they predict CP while doing EO. I can't really do that because a couple of my algs mess up CP for EO, and this is one of them. So it also flips the equator, which is alright sometimes. So here we have an R perm on top and a Y perm on bottom, so no CP parity. So just normal alg, which flips the equator, JN, and we're left with a UU. So the way I solve UU, I don't know an alg for all 4 cases, but what I do is kind of quick. I line it up so that the bars, or the solved things, are on the left or the right, it doesn't matter. And what you do is you do M2, U2, M2, and you're left with an adjacent. So like that. And adjacent. Equator fix. For equator fix, I usually line it up first so I don't have to do any AUF at the end. And we're done. Next scramble. Okay, for here. Yeah, fist. And how do we tell if this is the 2 mover or the 6 mover? Essential question. The way I do it is I look at these blocks of 2. Right here and right here. So, if it is the 2 move fist, if you can make this so that it is scallop kite. And if it was not, if you were to line it up, it wouldn't be able to slice. You would get 3 and 1. So here, it's just easy 2 moves, 1, 2. Corner orientation, I usually put bars on the left when I'm solving CO. So yeah, diagonal on bottom. And then 1, 1. So we have this just a 2 corner swap on top and parity case on bottom. So we do not have parity again, but I know for this specific PLL where it's just 2 corner swap, I'm gonna get an adjacent swap for EP, and I'm probably gonna get it's gonna be either a W perm or an O perm on bottom. And I do this JJ from the back. And it was the O perm. So for this, I don't know the EP, so what I would do is just do an adjacent, so that I have a U perm on bottom and just solve the U perm. So adjacent, and U perm on bottom. Alright, next solve. Alright. Okay. Here, I would just use scallop kite, and it might not be the optimal solution, cube shape rather, but it's not that bad. So I would just pair this up with this block of 3, and then we're just one move away from the kite on bottom. Line it up and do your alg. Okay, so for corner orientation, 1 on top, 3 on bottom. Yeah. So, 1 and 1. A J perm on top, which is nice, and a G perm on bottom. So for the G perms, they will all give you, or 2 of them will give you a U perm, and 1 of them will give you an H perm, and the other one a Z, I think. So for this one, it's going to give you a U. When the headlights are here and the block is back here, it's a U. If the block was here, it would be an H. So block here, U, block there, H. And obviously, when you have J perm on top, it's going to skip EP. So I'm just going to have a U perm on bottom. Right. Next, scramble. Okay. Again, I would just do kite scallop. It's pretty much the same as the last case. Just bring this up and bring this down and kite scallop. Corner orientation. For this EO case, I know it does preserve corners, so I'm gonna have solved corners on top and a J on bottom. It's a Z perm and parity on bottom, so CP parity. This alg is really nice, but it does flip the equator, which isn't bad. Okay, and we're left with a UU. So same deal, M2, U2, M2, adjacent. Okay, so again we have fist, but this time it is going to be the 6 mover, because I can tell if I were to try to pair this up with this, it would not work. See, I would get 3. What we do for this, it's 6 slices, which is not that bad, and this is actually the cube shape for the current North American record by Not Kevin. So what you do is you look at the L's and you pair it up so that you get shield and kite. And from there, your goal is to get a shield square, and from shield square, obviously, it's 3 moves. So I'm going to line up the L's, like here and here, bring it down, so I get shield kite. And from shield kite, you just do this, slice, 2, bring it back down, and you have shield square. And shield square is just 1, 2, 3. Okay, so corner orientation, 3 on top, 1 on bottom, 2 and 2, and we're going to get a CP skip, obviously, because we have corner solved and corner solved. So we have parity, cool, we don't. Opposite on top, W perm on bottom, so I don't know this EP, so I would just do opposite opposite and have a U perm on bottom. M2, U2, M2. And for predicting AUF, I'm going to cancel into equator fix, and because this color is opposite, I'm going to have no AUF on top, but the bottom is just going to be a D prime. scramble. Okay, cool. It's just a shield square. For shield square, you imagine the shield facing you, and you go to the left. And the square doesn't matter. Just make sure it's not like that. It's gotta be like that. And you just do that. -1. Very fast. Okay. 3 and 1. And this 2 and 2. My alg messes up corners and it does flips equator. So we have an A perm, and this G perm that I was talking about earlier is going to give me an H if I don't offset it. So to avoid getting a U and an H, I'm going to offset it so I get a U and a U, because A perm always gives you U perms. So yeah, M2, U2, M2. And align it like that so I don't have to AUF at the end. Okay, one more. Okay, what do we have here? Shield. Okay, shield. For most beginners, it would be nice because you can get all 8 edges on top really easy. But that's really inefficient if you're a little bit faster. So what I would do, what you should do, hold shield because it's only 3 moves. It's only a 3 slicer. So hold it like this as you would for shield square, and like this on the bottom. You do 1, and then you have barrel. 2, 3. All right, and then this. And we have CP parity, because even though this looks like an E perm, it's not, and an R perm. And it's very difficult to recognize this E perm type case, but you can kind of tell looking at it now that it doesn't look like a normal 3x3 E perm. So we would do CP parity, and this alg is exactly the same as the other as the J on bottom, solved on top, except that you do a 5 at the end or something like that. It's really exactly the same alg. See, for the solved case on top, you do that, but for the N case, you would do that. And we are left with a double W perm, which is fun. So W on top, W on bottom. This is one of the few EPs that I do know, and it's very, very useful because this case actually comes up quite a bit, and it's really annoying if you don't know the alg, and it's actually really fast, but it does flip the equator, so I'm going to cancel into equator fix. Alright, thank you for watching, and a couple of things to note from these solves. Number one, I would say, is being able to recognize EP while you're doing CP, and able to force better EP cases. As you noticed a couple times, I tried to avoid getting an H perm or a U perm Z perm case, and that's very helpful in the long run. It's also good for forcing like stuff like this, or just regular adjacent swaps, rather than an adjacent swap on top and a opposite on bottom, which isn't that good. Other things to note, CP parity, that's a big deal. It's very, very helpful, and it's very useful to know. And the algs are not that bad at all. They're very easy to learn and very fast, and it can save you a lot of time. And it definitely, as you noticed in this whole video, I never once did the parity alg. and that can be really nice because in competition sometimes it's very easy to get lucky on that alg, whereas if you're doing CP parity it's not that bad. And other thing to note, cube shape. Doing scallop kite is definitely not always the best option, even though it's called advanced cube shape. Sometimes it is best to do beginners, but of course when you're doing beginners, don't do all 8 on top. Make sure you set it up so that you get 4, 4, because then you're eliminating the first slice of the beginner's algorithm. And it's like, there are a couple of cases, like I showed you, that it's better to get to shield square rather than kite scallop, and like this, or no, not that. Something like this, it's only one move away from fist, that type of stuff. So thank you for watching, hope you learned a lot. Thank you.